Jersey number 16, Bridget Daniel. Jersey number 18, Esther Chaulunga. Jersey number 19, Mary Chineva. Jersey number 20, Fanny Magombo. And jersey number 26, Emily Mpandi. The head coach there from Ntopwa still is Coach Isaac Jomo Onsa. Moving over to the
Debza, I don't have IFB. I'm just in the microphone. Kabetol, I respond on the radio. Okay, sure. Okay, Mama, so.
Yes, sir. Kubani commentator na
Uri la paya.
Ray Kun.
Ray Kun, ne?
Ray Kun. Salah ngap.
Kan dia ucuan.
Na. Nana? 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 Chichi? Chichi? Chichi?
Stand by.
I didn't back. Okay. Are we doing rehearsal now or is we live?
Live. If I do this, right?
Okay.
For you to wrap up, I'll do this to finish. Right?
Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to CAF Women's Champions League qualifier, COSAFA qualifiers, day number 3. We are live at University of Johannesburg, A.W. Miller Stadium. It is match number 5, Group A. The sun is out, the temperatures are sitting at 23 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere is buzzing and the players are so ready, and so we are. We are live here and we're bringing you a Group A match. It is Ntopwa FC from Malawi up against the Beauties FC. They are all from Namibia. They're meeting for the first time. Both teams lost their opening matches. Ntopwa lost their match to Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies FC by 3-0, while Beauties FC, they lost by 3-0 to Zescondola Girls. This is the day that we've all been waiting for. Earlier on, we had to talk to our coaches, hear how ready about for this encounter. Let's hear what the coaches had to say. We are joined by Ntopwa FC coach Isaac Osman. Coach, your team created some promising moments in the first game, but fell short. What areas have you focused on to improve for this day?
This game, I think we are going to attack more because that game that we played the day before yesterday, we was defending. So this time we have changed our plan. We are going to attack more because you know we was playing against the defending champions, so the pressure was on us, and we didn't know how Sundowns plays. So today we are going to pray with the team that we are not going to have any pressure. So my girls they are going to pray according to the plan.
Can you take us through that, coach? Because you're saying that you're gonna your game is about attacking. I know you're facing Beauties FC for the very first time, and your formation is 3-4-3. Are there any adjustment tactically?
Yeah, you know, a coach needs to have plan A and plan B. When we start the game, we'll see where we're gonna change. So you're gonna see something change in the pitch. It's going to change just because of the way our opponents plays. So you're gonna see the changing inside, because as a coach you can't just use one tactic. No.
How important is mental strength and responding quickly in this tournament, coach?
We know it's gonna be tough, but to us we need a win. A win is very important for our club. You know, back home there in Malawi, people are just waiting to show our club wins. You know, last year, we were on the same tournament. We didn't win any game. We just make 1 draw and 2 losses. So this time we want to win the games.
Mentioning your homies back at home, how important is this match? And any message for your team and also for women's football back at home?
I just want to say, people, it's high time they need to support women's football. You know, some of the countries like South Africa, Zambia, they are supporting women's football. That's why we see them, they are more improved, more than our country. But we have potential girls. We have a lot of girls who gonna make it big. If we want Africa to be bigger, we need to invest in the women's football. Women's football is the only way that we can reach higher level football in Africa.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you very much.
And we are joined by Beauties FC coach Kati Nambari from Namibia. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, your team showed some quality there and there in the midfield in the opening match, but struggling in the final third. How are you going to address that heading to this game?
Thank you very much. First of all, in our previous game, we couldn't really implement our plan, the game plan. We had some lapses in the defense, and we couldn't finish off our attack in the final third. But we addressed the issue in the training, in our preparation yesterday when we had our last session. And obviously, the girls are ready to go today.
Coach, you're voicing Ntopwa, a side that also comes in hungry for points. What kind of contest are you expecting?
Very competitive game, very difficult, of course. But I'm actually very confident on my players. They are skillful, they are full of talent, and they hunger to win. We know that today's game is a must-win for us if you want to stay in the competition. So our aim today, our approach today is to go out and get the 3 points.
You're mentioning a talent in your squad. Are there any specific players or combinations you are looking to step up to and make difference for Beauties FC today? Also, looking at your formation, it's 4-4-2.
We have individual talent in the team, a couple of national team players, but we don't look up at one person. We look at the spirit of the team. Our biggest strength is actually is teamwork, and our formation 4-4-2. Yes. But it's just to deceive the opponents. That is actually just to deceive opponents. So we will see in the pitch.
Wow.
Yes.
Coach, after a disappointing start, what is your message to the players about keeping belief in themselves and in the tournament?
I tried to talk to them. I told them normally a good team is actually not defined by one game. The most important is how you are going to stand up from the setback. And that's the belief that we have in today's game. The mood is very high in the camp. They are motivated and they are determined to grab the 3 points today.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Both coaches sounding so ready for this encounter where we're going to see speed, discipline and attacking football. This 5th edition of CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA Qualifier has got only 10 teams. Only one women's football club will represent the COSAFA region, the Southern Africa region, in CAF Champions League later this year. I am Ongeziwe Mjana. Let's cross to our commentator, Ray Kuhn.
Welcome along to Super Sunday, a Super Sunday for the women's game, and two of Malawi and Namibia's finest will soon go toe-to-toe for the very first time at the UJAW Miller Stadium right here in the City of Gold. Now a look at Group A. Mamelodi Sundowns currently reside at the top of the standings with an impressive showing indeed against Ntopwa, who are all the way at the bottom. Beauties also lost and also conceded 3 goals, just like their Malawian counterparts today. So match 1 of day number 3 of this tournament features the sides that have made a stumbling start to this adventure, to this CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualification tournament. And can they turn those losses, and can they produce a comeback and potentially provide a route through to the semi-finals? But if they wish to take part in the knockouts, this is the match Beauties and Ntopwa cannot afford to lose. Their hopes were ignited on Friday, but Ntopwa and Beauties Football Club arrive at a critical juncture in their campaign this afternoon, and it's good to see that a few young faces have made their way into the ground. More spectators will start to filter in as the day goes on. Plenty of ambassadors and former players and the vice president of COSAFA, all waiting to see how Ntopwa and Beauties will go, because the first round just didn't quite pan out as they were expecting it to go. It is a Group A, do or die kind of a match with a knockout feel, and both coaches, both sets of teams know exactly that. They were unable to implement their strategies and plans against Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola ladies, but this is the game you would think that Ntopwa and Beauties would want to target. A loss today would probably seal their fate, an early elimination from the group stage. The players conducted their warm-ups. It was rather interesting to see. Both coaches have made their fair few number of changes, but we'll get to those a little bit later on. Kickoff is at 12 o'clock, and we are still waiting for the teams to make their way out onto the field of play. Beauties did play the first match of this year's CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, and they play the first match this Sunday with Sundowns and Zesco to come later on. Local enforcement is here as well, so it's really good that we can enjoy the action in a safe and secure environment, thanks to the gentleman from SAPS. But this is what we've been waiting to see. Ntopwa from Malawi and Beauties from Namibia make their way out onto the battlefield. In the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, to kick the day off in this tournament is a Group A do or die. They got a feel for the conditions, the stakes, the cameras and the competition on Friday, and today their master plan really needs to come to the fore if they have any hopes of reaching the final four. Both clubs fell to big defeats in their first outing, but it is a loss they can afford, and it's safe to say that they cannot afford to lose this second match in Group A. The ladies of Malawi and Ntopwa dressed in all red, Beauties in all white this afternoon, and not in their usual orange attire. So the away strip for the ladies of Namibia, and all red once again for Ntopwa. Beautiful setting in the background, and this is the lineup for Ntopwa. Jomo Osman has chosen to make 3 changes to his side that started against Mamelodi Sundowns. Emily Samuel, Magombo and Bonongwe lose their spots to Ruth Nirongo, Joyce Makweya and Mulim Bika, who also gets a start in this team. The likes of Nkanda Wawire, Pikani and Yusife didn't see much of the ball on Friday. They hardly got a kick on Friday, so let's see how they go today. And that is the lineup of officials on the field and the lineup of officials off the field of play in the VAR truck. The captain of the Beauties, the protector of their goal, Melissa Matthias, conceded 3 goals against Zambia's finest. As for Saliva January, she was unable to get to grips with the pace of the game against Mamelodi Sundowns, and she'll find herself in the heart of that midfield, and it should be a good battle between herself and Williams, as well as Natalie Hikuam. who also struggled to get going in that first match. The Beauties' front three and back four is unchanged, but the problem against Zesco and Dola ladies lied in the midfield, and to address those problems, Katini Nambandi has called upon Rita Williams and Amu Koto. Wearing the number 2, she'll likely form part of the right-hand side of their attack, although their coach said the 4-4-2 formation was just to deceive the opposition. But will Isaac Jomo Osman be deceived? A lot of questions linger over both teams. Beauties ready to go, led by that man on your screen. Nambandi has been in charge of Namibia's Chan team before leading the Beauties in this competition. A coach with quite a lot of experience, but not as much as experience in the women's game as his counterpart, as Isaac Jomo Osman. But it should be a good duel in Group A to start the day off. And let's see how this one will go. It's difficult to say because both teams failed to score in their first outing. They were outplayed in their first outing, and both conceded 3 goals in their first outing too. I'm pretty sure that you will see a different version of both Ntopwa and Beauties. All eyes on the referee, Chipo Mayimbo Mercy, and she blows a whistle and we are officially underway for the first match, the 12 o'clock kickoff between the Malawian champions and the Namibian champs. And it's always good to be in your company for another dose of women's football. Friday's defeat was a learning experience more than anything else for these two teams. But have they taken those lessons on board? And will they be able to apply it today? Because both sides are still struggling to find their way and to really adapt to the competition. Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco were always going to be the favorites in this group. But here goes Mkanda Wawire. Couldn't locate a teammate of hers. And here's Williams. A new inclusion by coach Kati Nambandi. That was a decent attempt from Nancy Boipelo to try and slide Fiola Flite through. Chituka. Both sides also struggle to create chances. They struggle to keep and rotate the ball on Friday. The battle for possession should be an interesting battle. In this one, midfielders trying to find their confidence, attackers trying to find their finishing touch, and coaches trying to find their ideal combinations. Handful of opportunities for Ntopwa against Mamelodi Sundowns, but less than half chances, no real quality in that. But this could be a possible opening. Audacious attempt by Beauties number 10, Fiola Flite. Here she is again, lays it off nicely to Alwendu, who might want to travel a little bit further. That's a good touch from Rose Alufindika, who just made the goalkeeper's job so much easier. A good start is the order of the day for both these clubs. And good start, an early goal would definitely set them on the right path. Chochoma. She was a late second half substitute against Mamelodi Sundowns on Friday. And the other two changes, Ruth Nirongo as well as Joyce Makwea, also were introduced in the second half. We know that Isaac Jomo Osman and Ntopwa adopt this back 3 or back 5 system It was a back five against Mamelodi Sundowns because they defended for most of the time. Should be more of a back three with some wing backs today. And we might see the likes of Pikani and Mulambika as well as Ntopwa really attack and really play on the front foot, because that is what was missing against Mamelodi Sundowns. And Ntopwa are also slightly more direct in their approach. As for the Beauties, more reliant on how they distribute the ball through the lines and from the defense to the midfield and to the attack. Different styles, but the same ambition. Here goes Mkanda Wawira. She has got pace, and she briefly gets past Kaijavi, who concedes a corner kick. First one of the day, first one of this match. It was a crucial toe by the recovering Kaijavi. Pikani is on corner kick duties. Few tall ladies to try and locate in the box. Beauties do have the numbers defensively, but when has that ever been enough? Good delivery up towards the tall lady, Mulambika. Beauties defend it for now. Ntopwa. And Fleete just unsettles her when she was about to re-release the ball. Expect Mulambika and Ntopwa to interchange with one another on that right-hand side. There's January, the captain of the Malawian outfit. Williams for the Beauties. Nancy Boipelo again tries to slip one through. She doesn't. A window. Still a window. There goes Nancy Boipelo again. Can't get the cross in. And the goalkeeper for Ntopwa, Mercy Sikelo, is far from happy with her defensive line, and it's a different kind of challenge this is to Mamelodi Sundowns. Ntopwa will back themselves, but so will the Beauties. Robust challenge that was from Williams. In fact, it went in her favor. And they aren't going to waste any time, Beauties. Williams again. Seems to be playing just in front of the midfield. Slightly behind the attackers. Williams. Kaijavi runs into trouble. Beauties might be in trouble here. Chance for Ntopwa. Early save for Melissa Matthias. Both these sides still searching for their first goal in this competition. And Pikani did well there because her teammate on the left-hand side, Mkanda Wawire, did slightly drift into an offside position. So she did the right thing by taking the shot on herself. Just didn't have the venom. But it's bound to be a fascinating brawl, this one, between Ntopwa and Beauties. Two teams trying to rewrite the wrongs of Friday afternoon. Both defenses will be tested in a different way today. Katuta. Natalie Hikwam probably was Beauty's best player against Zesco and Dola ladies. Shabal Bengo. was fouled just as she released the pass, and the referee did call the action back. Kandawawire was on the move and ready to go. Matthias under the boots of Nancy Boipelo. Here's Ruth Nirongo. Now Ntopwa were the much less experienced opponent on Friday against Mamelodi Sundowns, but today it is the ladies of Malawi that hold the longer, superior resume compared to Beauties, who are making their debut in this year's edition of the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers. But the tournament debutantes, the Okahanja Beauties from Windhoek, dare to dream. But they need to go for all 3 points this afternoon. You would think that a point would probably not suffice, especially when you have Mamelodi Sundowns taking on Zesco later on. Heavy touch there, no place to be losing the ball. Natalie Hikuam. They've got the numbers here, do Beauties. Can they work it beautifully? They don't. Just might be a matter of time before they find their touch. Just seem to be very anxious and very hesitant and too cautious when they approach the opposition. Not only Beauties, but Ntopwa too. Rita Williams.
Easy.
A throw-in is won by the Beauties again, and then a foul right on the edge of the box on that same lady. And now this might be the most enterprising chance of the game so far. So here we go, free kick chance for the Beauties, for the tournament debutants. And it's going to be taken by their number 10, Fiola Vliete. She doesn't go for it, she clips it up there. The goalkeeper hasn't claimed it, the goalkeeper is off her line. She gets away with it. Now, Chituka did really well there to slip out of a sticky situation. Windu wants to run at the heart of that Ntopwa defense, and she will do so throughout the game. Alufandika also produced a decent shift against Mamelodi Sundowns. The best moment of the match so far. The goalkeeper not claiming the ball the first time and the second time around. And it was also one of the reasons why Tolakele, Mamelodi Sundowns striker, was able to score her second goal against Ntopwa on Friday. Was because of a bit of hesitancy from the goalkeeper. Easy clearance for Katuta. Hikwam. Oh, it's opened up here for Ntopwa, for Pikani. Very cheap free kick to concede right after the throw-in. The guilty party, Amukoto. And the referee from Zimbabwe, Chipo Mayimbo, just telling Pikani to take the free kick where it is supposed to be taken, where the foul was committed. A two-lady wall. A two-lady wall with a massive gap in between. Pikani might just go for it herself. She does. And it's straight down the barrel of Melissa Matthias, who catches and releases quickly. She was urged to take it on. There she is again, Matthias. Sumptuous first touch by Elwendu. Then Kejavi. Hikwam. Kejavi launches it in there. Lovely pass. Enough bodies back for Ntopwa. Nancy Boipelo. To Chituka, who always offers assistance to that left winger. Didn't really do so against Zesco, but she's already starting to find her touch and where she needs to be and when in this match. There's a lady down. A stoppage has been called for the injury on the Beauties centre half, Kahiriri. Quite innocuous. I think she just pulled up. It might be a hammy or a calf. And she hobbles off the field of play. Integral member of this Beauty squad. And he'll hope that he won't have to make an early alteration. Leonard Katinambandi. That stoppage did allow the Beauties as well as Ntopwa just to have a sip of water. And now that they've gotten a feel for one another, you can expect this match to open up. Two or three substitutes have been called for a warm-up. Because just for the time being, Beauties have been rendered down to 10 ladies. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, seeing that the Beauties are camped up in the half of the Malawians. Down the line goes Chituka. Chituka finds Hikwam nicely. And she leaves it for her teammate who blasts it over. Hikwam, selfless. And Nancy Boipelo, a little bit too eager. Still a chance here for Beauties. Now, who did that come off last? The referee has a look at her lines lady who points to the corner flag. Beauties starting to bring forth the pressure. Both these sides were under the pump against Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco from the very outset to the conclusion of that match. They weren't afforded any time or any space to breathe, but much more evenly matched this match is. One corner apiece, first one of the day for Beauties. What can they produce? This time the goalkeeper a lot more assured. Mercy Sikelo just gives the ball right back to the Beauties, which was the case so often against Mamelodi Sundowns. After doing so much defending, the goalkeeper would gather the ball and simply just launch it up the field, give possession right back to Mamelodi Sundowns and invite the pressure again. Jesse Osife travelled quite the distance, and Ntopwa do look a little bit more threatening on the left-hand side than the right. The right flank that's of course occupied by Ntopwa and Mulimbika. But here's Pikani. Attempts a volley cross. Matthias has got a little bit more distance on her goal kick clearances than her counterpart, Mercy Sikelo. She might play into this game later on. And the sweat already dripping from their foreheads, from the forehead of Ntopwa. She'll be running up and down that right-hand flank. 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes of the day, not belonging to either side so far. Glimpses and moments, but nothing of meaning just yet. January needs to try and take control and assert herself into the midfield. Jesse Osife goes for it. It's punched away by Melissa Matthias. Safer option. 0-0, 50-50 in terms of possession. As I said, balanced on a knife's edge for now. It was a difficult match to call and to predict before it started, because you weren't quite too sure how both these units were going to respond after succumbing to rather demoralizing defeats on Friday afternoon. There's Matthias Pikani with a strong header. Just the 3 goal attempts so far, these two still feeling one another out. Still collecting the necessary data. Kanda Wawire did well there. And because of her endeavour and also the endeavour of Mulimbika, they've got a free kick to Ntopwa. Not too close to the box, but a good range for the free kick taker to get it up and over the wall and to dip below the crossbar in time. Beauties have already committed 6 times the number of fouls that Ntopwa have in this game so far. The women's game is uniquely physical. We can already see that Mulimbika gets it all wrong. And she knew it as soon as she hit it. So just a couple of sighters so far. Natalie Ikuam, after giving the ball away, gets a little bit fortunate. these players will know, together with their coaches, that this is a big stage, a moment to try and capture, to make your name known in this world of women's football. After all, this competition does open the doors to the CAF Women's Champions League, which also opens the doors to a whole host of other adventures and opportunities. But first, this is the match these two need to try and get past. They need a positive 3-point result today. Bengo, lovely ball through. Good timing of the run. Good work again from Melissa Matthias, nonetheless. Pikani from deep. Kandawawire, onside. Just isolated in the end. No real support for her. It falls to Pikani again, who might try and dance her way through. She did try, but she failed. Wendu seems to be the exit strategy for Beauties. Hikuam looks for the pass. And Ruth Nirongo wise to it. These two sides do share the feeling of being the underdog in this competition. But the position of dark horse is a position they can use to cause absolute devastation on foreign soil. Chochoma. Down the line she goes. Every time Ntopwa get it, they seem to want to distribute the ball down the flanks of Beauties. Because that is, of course, where most of the space lies. As for the Namibian outfit, they tend to want to play their way through the middle. But Ntopwa do have the numbers in the middle. They've got a good amount of physicality, not so much of the technical side of the game, but that will come with confidence and with time in this competition. Both sides absolutely love to defend, but we are yet to see the best of their attacks. Chituka is another example of that fact. Different strategy now by Ntopwa, opting to play out from their own box, and they run into trouble. Alwendu took it off Pikani. Mulimbika has swapped flanks. Kandawawire looks bright. There's a lot of space right through the middle. Here goes Jessie Yosife again. Still Jessie Yosife. She tumbles down in the box. The virtual assistant referee will have a look at it. And after that penalty shout, there was quite a big collision. First yellow card of the game too to the Beauties number 18. Alwendu. There was a shout of pain from the lady on the ground. Early yellow card for the attacker, Alwendu. The attacker that has touched the ball a few times. She's slipped some passes through already. But no one has really been able to test either goalkeeper just yet. And this really does look like a serious injury. Oh, a serious knock, at least for Mulambika. And this is what happened. First there was a penalty shot and a wonderful run by Jesse Osife. And then that, a collision of legs. No menace in the challenge from Alwendu, but the contact was rather hefty. And you could hear it. As expected, the two officials working the virtual assistant referee technology are having a look at this one and engaging with the referee on field. And we know that the Beauties conceded 2 penalty kicks and 2 penalty goals in the first round against Zesco and Dola Girls. Are they about to concede their 3rd penalty of the competition? No more frustrating way to concede. Still we wait for the final decision. And wherever you are, whether that be in Windhoek, Blantyre, Johannesburg, and everywhere in between, you've tuned into the best dosage of reality TV to satisfy that women's football lunchtime craving. And these two teams crave goals to really get their campaigns going. No penalty, but the free kick still stands. Pikani goes for goal when it wasn't the right thing to do. And as we all know, a loss may prove final. A loss may subject the losers to a fate of group stage elimination. But on the flip side of the coin, a victory may inspire an unlikely surge to the semi-finals. Inexperienced contenders could become serious contenders this Sunday. Granted, if one of them do go on to claim 3 points and go level on points with both Zesco and Mamelodi Sundowns before they bump heads at 3 o'clock sharp. Kahiriri. Not a bad delivery. January. Mulimbika up on her feet yet again, looking for the industrious Jessie Osife, who pulls up. She's probably been their best player so far, also against Mamelodi Sundowns, although we didn't see too much of her. The sharpest tool in their attack. Doesn't seem to be any contact from the opposition. Only one rest day for these two teams. One rest day tomorrow again before they play their final group match on Tuesday. That's the bench of Ntopwa. The ladies you will likely see in action for the second half. Depending on what the scoreline is and what the situation requires, of course. Over the top by Williams. Over the top of some, but not of all. Kandawawire creates the space for herself. Her teammate Mulimbika is onside. She puts it across the face. No one was there in time, although the flag was raised in the end. Mulimbika marginally offside. Did the right thing to put the ball across the face. These two teams were bystanders yesterday, and they would have had a brief training session yesterday, because it is safe to say that the real preparation for this cross-border operation started months ago already. They've been looking forward to it for months. Natalie Ikuam, Alwendu. She asked a lot of her teammate there, just put a little bit too much meat on the pass. But Nancy Boipelo seems to be making a few interesting runs, not playing in one strict position on the field. And in case you missed the action from yesterday, Gaborone United and Costa del Sol of Mozambique got off to perfect starts in their groups, in Group B and C. Gaborone United, of course, losing finalists. They may be watching this contest unfold. Awendu misses out. Chochoma certainly does not. Bikani, good spot by Bikani, and good distribution again from that number 10, Mkanda Wawires. Produced a few neat touches so far. And how about Kate Javi? For the third time already in this match, she has timed that sliding challenge of hers to absolute perfection. And when you've got such speedy wingers to deal with, it's always helpful to have a good sliding challenge in your armory. And an animated support in the stands, that was. Kandawawire rides the challenge and then takes it on further. Still Kandawawire is fouled. It's good strength, it's good poise by this rather creative number 10. Clear foul by Katuta. So if one of these teams were to crash out at the end of the day, they cannot do so without a fight. And both, so far, you can say are putting up a reasonable fight so far. If one is to be victorious, and if one is to bow out of the competition today, they would hope to do so in style. But here goes Jesse Yosife again up towards the far post. The header was won, and the header went over by Shabal Bengo. Useful delivery by Jesse Yosife again. And Bengo was just marked and crowded out at the far post, although she did make first contact. Kandawawire was onside, although it did seem like she came back from an offside position, and that is eventually the case. So Ntopwa have been caught offside a fair number of occasions so far. And the wind has also started to pick up. Here goes Kandawawire. Two players in close proximity. She picks out a teammate. Yosife plays it off Katuta wisely. Bikani always in charge of these throw-ins. And launches it into the box. Matthias, unconvincing. No foul. And that will go down as a chance for Ntopwa. A chance for Mulimbika, who had Esani and Tolakele to deal with on Friday. She's got Alwendu and Nancy Boipelo as well as Viola Fleeter to contend with today. Williams. A rather quiet opening period so far. Both these sides did, of course, concede 2 goals in the first half on Friday. So far, their defense is unchallenged. And that object can make so much noise. Can be both deafening and motivating at the same time. Critical passage of play. It's about 6 minutes to go before the half-time whistle. And a plethora of fouls, especially in the midfield. So good contest in the middle, no real quality in the final third. Iquam did nurse a bit of an injury against Zesco and Dola, and it seems like she's still nursing that same knock. Now Awenu got in the end of the cross, couldn't quite keep it down. Some pass. In the mood for a Robin van Persie, a Podolski-esque finish, but she just didn't get her knee over the ball and her laces through the ball, did Alwendu. But she will keep on trying. Ruth Nirongo. Now Pikani. Bit of a loose one for her. Only one team in this group in this competition have played at this venue before the competition started, and that was a serious high boot. Not really a high boot, but she did lift the studs and she did make a good amount of contact on Kejavi, did Pikani. Second yellow card of the game. One for Ntopwa, one for Beauties, one for Alwendu, and one for Olivia Pikani. For this challenge, she needs to be careful, especially with Big Brother watching. So they've had these free kick chances before in the half already. What can come of this one for Beauties? It's a poor delivery. A delivery that turns into an Ntopwa counter-attack. With Mkanda Wawira, she wants someone in the box. And she doesn't find Mulimbika. For these two teams and for that coach, it is his first experience of Johannesburg as the head coach and club owner, of course, of Ntopwa. It will also be rather interesting to see how the turf holds up over the coming days, considering that all of the matches have taken place and will take place at this UJAW Miller Stadium turf. January, wax it against Jesse Yosife. left hand is heavily bandaged. She already took a knock just a few minutes ago, and she's taken another blow from January's long-range attempt. And the fouls keep racking up against Beauties. It's played short by Bengo. Fiola Fleeter seems to be rather frustrated, which is why she's not really playing as a traditional number 9. She's dropped a little bit deeper to get more involved. But it's very scrappy so far. And perhaps the type of match many were expecting at the start of the day. Between two teams with a lot of heart, a lot of desire, ambitions for reaching the semi-final stage. But no cutting-edge quality has come to the fore just yet. As we learn to find out how many minutes will be added on for stoppage time at the end of the 45. Pikani Mkandawawire wanted it, and she's going to get it. Did come off her last, so it's going to be a Beauties throw-in. Beauties did have an impressive opening spell against Zesco and Dola. They were tough to crack defensively for the first 20 or 30 minutes or so. But then thereafter, they were comfortably the second best team on the day. And they fell to the wayside, especially in the last 10 minutes of the first half. But so far, these two teams keeping it together before they head into the changing rooms. And both coaches gave a rather passionate speech about their teams and about women's football generally, the need for it, the importance of it. Ikwam. Amukoto, goalkeeper, has come out to read the play beautifully. Nervous start from Mercy Sikelo, but she has grown into the match. Chituka will be hassled here by Mulembika, and she turns ever so well. Perfect example of how to escape the press. Another stoppage, another player down. Those players creating their own shade, trying to stay cool. The father and his daughter. There's a few family members from this Beauties team that are supporting them, but nothing to shout about just yet. We might be privy to a completely different game in the second half. But so far, not much of a game in the first half. And this will in all likelihood be the first forced substitution, the first time the stretcher has been called for. And it's always an unpleasant sign to see a player stretchered off, to see a player with tears in her eyes. But she's got nothing to be ashamed about, does Amukoto. You do feel for her because she didn't start the last game. She started this one. And it just hasn't gone according to plan. But that's the unpredictable life of a pro footballer. Another free kick for Beauties. Another free kick spurned. And the ladies in red lacked any real menace on Friday afternoon. Their attackers were forced to defend and their defenders were overrun against Mamelodi Sundowns. They were chasing the ball and chasing shadows on Friday. Different outcome after this 45 between Ntopwa and Beauties, who will enter the break at a 0-0 deadlock. It is teed up to be a rather interesting second half. A second half that might just produce more goal mouth action, but not a lot to write home about, not a lot to shout about. Ntopwa 0, Beauties 0. And in terms of the halftime statistics, 1 shot on target for Ntopwa, 2 for Beauties. They've both tried their luck on the same amount of occasions. Possession is basically evenly split, but let's wait and see how the second half will go. See you then. Still waiting for the teams to make their way out onto the field of play. Beauties did play the first match of this year's CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, and they play the first match this Sunday with Sundowns and Zesco to come later on. Local enforcement is here as well, so it's really good that we can enjoy the action in a safe and secure environment, thanks to the gentleman from SAPS. But this is what we've been waiting to see. Ntopwa from Malawi and Beauties from Namibia make their way out onto the battlefield. In the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, to kick the day off in this tournament is a Group A do or die. They've got a feel for the conditions, the stakes, the cameras and the competition on Friday. And today their master plan really needs to come to the fore if they have any hopes of reaching the final 4. Both clubs fell to big defeats in their first outing, but it is a loss they can afford, and it's safe to say that they cannot afford to lose this second match in Group A. The ladies of Malawi and Ntopwa dressed in all red, Beauties in all white this afternoon, and not in their usual orange attire. So the away strip for the ladies of Namibia, and all red once again for Ntopwa. Beautiful setting in the background, and this is the lineup for Ntopwa. Jomo Osman has chosen to make 3 changes to his side that started against Mamelodi Sundowns. Emily Samuel, Magombo and Bonongwe lose their spots to Ruth Nirongo. Joyce Makwea and Mulimbika, who also gets a start in this team. The likes of Mkanda Wawire, Pikani and Yusife didn't see much of the ball on Friday. They hardly got a kick on Friday, so let's see how they go today. And that is the lineup of officials on the field and the lineup of officials off the field of play in the VAR truck. The captain of the Beauties, the protector of their goal, Melissa Matthias, conceded 3 goals against Zambia's finest. As for Saliva January, she was unable to get to grips with the pace of the game against Mamelodi Sundowns. And she'll find herself in the heart of that midfield, and it should be a good battle between herself and Williams, as well as Natalie Hikuam, who also struggled to get going in that first match. The Beauties' front 3 and back 4 is unchanged, but the problem against Zesco and Dola ladies lied in the midfield, and to address those problems, Katini Nambandi has called upon Rita Williams and Amu Koto. Wearing the number 2, she'll likely form part of the right-hand side of their attack, although their coach said the 4-4-2 formation was just to deceive the opposition. But will Isaac Jomo Osman be deceived? A lot of questions linger over both teams. Beauties ready to go, led by that man on your screen. Nambandi has been in charge of Namibia's Chan team before leading the Beauties in this competition. A coach with quite a lot of experience, but not as much as experience. Expect Mulambika and Ntopwa to interchange with one another on that right-hand side. There's January, the captain of the Malawian outfit. Williams for the Beauties. Nancy Boipelo again tries to slip one through. She doesn't. A window. Still Alwendu. Here goes Nancy Boipelo again. Can't get the cross in. And the goalkeeper for Ntopwa, Mercy Sikelo, is far from happy with her defensive line, and it's a different kind of challenge this is to Mamelodi Sundowns. Ntopwa will back themselves, but so will the Beauties. Kejavi runs into trouble. Beauties might be in trouble here. Chance for Ntopwa. Early save for Melissa Matthias. Both these sides still searching for their first goal in this competition. And Pikani did well there because her teammate on the left-hand side, Mkanda Wawire, did slightly drift. Number 10, Fiola Fleeta. She doesn't go for it, she clips it up there. The goalkeeper hasn't claimed it, the goalkeeper is off her line. She gets away with it. Now, Chituka. Shift against Mamelodi Sundowns. The best moment of the match so far. The goalkeeper not claiming the ball the first time and the second time around. Herself. She does. And it's straight down the barrel. She was urged to take it on. Down the line goes Chituka. Chituka finds Hikuam nicely. And she leaves it for her teammate who blasts it over. Hikuam, selfless. We can already see that Mulimbika gets it all wrong. She knew it as soon as she hit it. Over the top by Williams. Over the top of some, but not of all. Kandawawire creates the space for herself. Her teammate Mulimbika is onside. She puts it across the face. No one was there in time, although the flag was raised in the end. Mulimbika marginally offside. Did the right thing to put the ball across the face in style. But here goes Jessie Yosife again up towards the far post. The header was won. And the header went over by Shabal Bengo. Useful delivery by Jessie Yosife again. And Bengo was just marked and crowded out at the far post, although she did make first contact. It's noise. Can be both deafening and motivating at the same time. Critical passage of play. About 6 minutes to go before the half-time whistle. And a plethora of fouls, especially in the midfield. So good contest in the middle, no real quality in the final third. Ikwam did nurse a bit of an injury against Zesco and Dola, and it seems like she's still nursing that same knock. Now Awenu got in the end of the cross, couldn't quite keep it down. At some pass, in the mood for a Robin van Persie, a Podolski-esque finish, but she just didn't get her knee over the ball and her laces through the ball, did Alwendu. So here we go, the second half of the first game of this Super Sunday in the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers will soon get underway. Not a lot to report on in terms of what transpired in the first half. A lot of defensive grit, midfield physicality, but in terms of the final product, that's yet to be showcased by both Ntopwa and Beauties. The champions of Malawi on the left-hand side and the champions of Namibia on the right. Both teams still searching for their first goal in the competition, their first points of the competition too. Third against fourth in Group A. And with the heavy hitters colliding later on at 3 o'clock, 3 points here would really shake up Group A. And it will make that tie at 3 o'clock even more interesting if one of these two teams are able to win here and now. The first half was everything but entertaining. The second half might be the complete opposite. This time it's Beauties that will be kicking us off, playing from right to left. And Chipo Maimbo, the lady in the middle. That lady that did so well to manage the first half affair, many stoppages, countless fouls, but no goals just yet. And the second half is official between Ntopwa and Beauties. Can they find their touch in this second half? Beauties did have an impressive opening spell against Zesco. They had an impressive spell here and there in the second match today here against Ntopwa, but it just hasn't been sustained or anything consistent so far. It's brilliant to see. Amukoto is back on the field of play. She was stretchered off and she thought her race was run. She thought her day was done and perhaps even the competition. But it seems like she's recovered in time for this second half. Fleeta. She goes down in the box. There's a strike, hits the crossbar. Without doubt, the closest either team has come so far. And what a cracking attempt that was. Free kick also on the edge of the box. Bright start to this second passage by the Beauties. It was a clean challenge. And then a decent hit by Amukoto. The lady that I was just speaking about moments ago. She might be the best candidate to take this free kick, considering what she was able to produce just moments ago. But be that as it may, Natalie Hikuam is where she wants to be. Over the free kick, over the set piece. She goes for it and she curls it in! What a showstopper! What a goal! Beauties are up and running. And that is a beautiful goal. Questionable goalkeeping, but a truly beautiful goal by Natalie Hikuam. Just stepped in time below the crossbar. Goalkeeper beaten. Goalkeeper not stretching every sinew, every fiber in her body. And that's the fourth goal the ladies in red have conceded in this competition. The worst possible time to concede, just after the end of the first half and right at the start of the second half. That goal will give Beauties the world of confidence for the rest of the second half, and perhaps if they are to claim a positive result here today, will give them the world of confidence heading into that final group match. That's opened up proceedings. And Ntopwa concede first again. This is their 5th match in the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, and Ntopwa have conceded the first goal every single time. They really haven't given themselves a stable base or foundation, and Beauties certainly have. What a start for them to the second half. Mulimbika. Mulimbika. Good thinking. But they have come from behind before in their local regional league and the national championships. But it's a different competition, different conditions against an opponent they've never faced before. Owendu gets a good toe in. Chance again. And it just goes wide. Starting to find their mojo now, Beauties. January. Nkandawawire gets it. She lays it off. Beauties have to be careful here, which they are. Katuta just put it out into touch, although the offside flag did go up. Now Beauties might be the debutantes and the new girls on the block, but just like Ntopwa, they are yet to win a match in this competition. The Malawians have been defeated by 3 opponents before in this competition. They have been competitive and they have picked up 1 point before. Can they respond? Nkandawawire, heavy touch. And it's the one that got away. Jesse Usife causing all kind of issues yet again. Nkandawawire took the touch when perhaps the first touch should have been a strike at goal. And although the Beauties opener would give them a lot of confidence, perhaps it's exactly what Ntopwa needed to really switch on in this game. Because if they don't, it will start to slip away. Their place in this competition hangs on a thread. And the chance of a debutant appearing in the semi-finals for the first time is very much on the cards, especially if the Beauties can capitalize on their current position. Although it does need to be said that they will take on Mamelodi Sundowns in their final group match. Points are important, but goals are as well. especially if you consider that the best second place team will join the 3 group winners in the semi-final stage. And that best runner-up semi-final position is more often decided by the amount of goals scored. But this is the group of death, the biggest group in the competition. Mercy Sikelo didn't really jump her highest when that free kick was taken. Would feel like she could have done a lot more to deal with that attempt by Natalie Hikwam. And the Beauties will be very much aware that UWC, in their very first appearance in the competition last season, blew everyone away and claimed the title in their very first try. But UWC were brilliant in the group stages, almost faultless in the group stages. But it seems like the Beauties have picked themselves up, dusted themselves off after being put to the sword by Zesco and Dola girls 48 hours ago. Just the kind of start the technical staff were hoping for. Can they capitalize on the start? So the first 10 minutes of the second half belongs to Beauties. Ntopwa trying to play their way back into the game. That's not it from Shabal Bengo. It's a frustrating watch for both coaches, although Beauties are ahead. It's anything but free-flowing and soothing football on the eye. It's a good old battle for 3 points. And as things stands, the Beauties on the right path. Good sportsmanship between those two ladies. And another set-piece chance, this time from a little bit further away, from a slightly less desirable angle for the goal scorer, Natalie Hikwam. Defensive line on the edge of the box. Alwendu is in an offside position, so she is the decoy. She can't interfere with play. She doesn't, and they were lining up there. But all of them, most of them, I think, were offside. May just be a matter of time before Isaac Jomo Osman turns to his bench for some answers, for some energy, because they aren't playing with any. Nancy Boipelo lays it off. Strike from range. Not a bad one by Amukoto, who did hit the crossbar at the start of the second half. Mulimbika. There are still chances here for Ntopwa. Delivery into the box, dealt with by Chikuta. She's yet to get a decision wrong, this lady on the near hand touchline, this Lions lady. Fair amount of offsides too in this match. Some spin. And great skill by Alwendu. Can she go all the way? Can she find a teammate? She does. Chance again for number 2. She's got her brace. She's on fire in the second half. The Beauties have come alive in the second half. And they are running away with it now. Over the moon, joyous as can be. Millicent Natalie Hikuam scores again. And this is the breathing room they wanted. Wonderful piece of skill by Alwendo. And then she had the presence of mind not to pass the ball to Nancy Boipelo, who was in an offside position. Instead, she picked out the lady in fine form. The lady that looked good against Zesco, but the lady that has scored 2 goals now, today. No goal action in the first half. 2 goals already in the second stanza. And Ntopwa just have no response. They need a big statement here. Beauties, I said 3 points might not be enough. They need a lot of goals to at least give themselves a shot of making it into the final 4. They will be counted out against Mamelodi Sundowns on Tuesday. Boipelo, a window. Is she onside? She goes through, and that's a wonderful save. Offside in any case against Viola Vliet. But they're starting to find more openings. Our Beauties. Openings that weren't exactly there in the first half. So things have definitely unraveled for Ntopwa. Jesse Osife. Pikani. Mulimbika is given time. She's given some space. She's going to explore it. Bengo. Kandawawire. Dispossessed. Come to Boipelo again. Beauties are just carving Ntopwa right open. Goalkeeper has come out. She's committed a foul outside of her box. If you take that swift and decisive action, you need to get there first. And the goalkeeper was beaten to the ball by that lady. Just that split second too late. Now another mouth-watering chance for Viola Vliet. And a yellow card for Mercy Sikelo. There's a few ways that Beauties number 10 can play this. There's a pass option in the box, but she's going for it. She does go for it, and this time easier for the goalkeeper. Williams. She got that sliding challenge wrong, did Kate Javi. Kandawawire on the edge of the box. Gets beyond her marker. Kandawawire. No corner kick. the kind of football, the kind of attack that we haven't seen too often from Ntopwa. They've had a few promising moments, but nothing to write home about, and that was a simple piece of skill, but very effective. Chochoma. Yusifa and Chochoma again. January wasn't aware that Williams was breathing down her neck. And the last thing Beauties would want to do now is to give Ntopwa a route back into the game, to give them a goal, to give them some belief. Mulimbika, not too far away, but it's going to take something otherworldly to score a goal from that distance.
She's not ready, coach. Let's go, step.
Kandawawire forced to chase, and she's got it. She is where she wants to be. And another promising attack comes to nothing. They just seem to run out of options when they hit the edge of the box or when they enter into the penalty area. And Kandawawire plays it short again when the pass just isn't there. Must be ultra frustrating for Isaac Jomo Osman right now. Here go the Beauties with Fiola Flita, with Chituka. Good football again. And she went for it. This time Beauties starting to create separation between themselves and Ntopwa, not only with regards to the scoreline, but the possession statistics as well. Which tells you that they've been more confident and more assured on the ball. Ntopwa and their coach, Jomo Osman, do want to make a trio of changes, but those 3 changes are on standby for now. 3 changes that Ntopwa desperately need, you would say. Fresh ideas, fresh legs. And discipline is also one of the concerning factors with regards to Ntopwa's overall play. Haven't conceded too many yellow cards, only just the one. But they haven't shown real discipline in and around their own area. They concede cheap fouls, cheap opportunities for Beauties to capitalize on.
On target.
From further back, Kahiriri, this time lower. Ntopwa inviting the pressure, but they find a way through. This match and the rest of the day does mark the start of the second round of the group phase. These 2 teams would have re-evaluated a few things, reconfigured their tactics after the first round. And those changes are yet to yield success for Ntopwa. They've yielded success for the Beauties. Chochoma is going to make her way off the field of play. Bonongwe is going to come on for Mkandawawire, which is an interesting change to say the least. And wearing the number 18, Mary Chindeya. And then finally, the last change, Sarah Mulembika is off, and Kondaweo Banda comes on to replace her. She's still on the field is Jessie Osife. It would have been a real surprise for the coach to take her off, and the substitutes are already getting involved. There were shouts of a handball there, but those shouts fell on deaf ears after the flag was raised. As you can see there, quite clearly offside. Jessie Osife. Osife tries to do too much when the space wasn't on offer. And just to confirm to you, if Ntopwa are to go on and lose against the Beauties this afternoon, they've got 20 minutes or so to try and turn their situation around. But if they are to fall at the end, they will be eliminated from the group stage before the final group match. Well, she leant into a marker there. Did Esther Chauluka. It's clever play, but not too clever for the referee. Useful flick on header. No recipient for Williams. Hikwam. Back-to-back headers fall kindly and break kindly for Nancy Boipelo. Here she goes, slips it through. The goalkeeper has come out to snuff the chance. The new goalkeeper, Emily Nkwazi. Awindu. Lovely ball, lovely sliding tackle too. You take all the risk as a defender. And that risk paid off for Joyce Makweya. First change of the game for the Namibian Beauties. Their number 8, Amwandangi, is eager to come on. And I think Hikwam is she the one that's going to be replaced? No. It's Fiola Fleeter that comes off. Good showing from her. Hikwam. Williams was clattered in the midfield. Jesse Osife. Seen that Chappelle Benga is playing a lot closer to the front three of Ntopwa, creating a bit of a front four now, which is no real surprise. They are chasing the game, chasing 2 goals. Wonderful pass. Now the Beauties were put in a pressurized position to compete in the first match of the tournament on Friday. Everyone, all of the other 8 teams were watching them then. And I presume that all of the other 8 teams are watching them now. And you could say that being the first to play requires a unique mental adjustment. Conditions are also slightly different to conditions later on in the afternoon. Just the 1 shot on target for Ntopwa all game long, which tells the story of an attack that is yet to establish its chemistry in this competition. But she's got a whole lot of trickery about her game, does Jessie Osife. It's just a pity from an Ntopwa point of view that it's only really her that's forcing the issue, that's looking to get on the end of balls like this one. Matthias comes out. With a quarter of an hour to go, and Ntopwa find themselves trailing. Conceded 3 goals against Mamelodi Sundowns. They just conceded the 1 goal in the second half. They've conceded 2 in this second half. Bengo through to Jesse Osife, who's marked and is forced to go backwards. And again, not for the first time, she's caught offside. And now they travel down the right with Kate Jabi. Mamelodi Sundowns do, of course, look secure and poised to seize top spot in the group, although Zesco and Dola ladies will give them a stern challenge later on. And it's also going to be interesting to see how Group B and Group C unfolds. And what happens in Group B and C, especially in the runner-up positions in both groups, will have an effect on the team that finishes second in this group. Jesse Osife. 2 red shirts in the box. Nearly arrived for Banda. Awindu chases. It's a 2v1 situation here. Wonderful defending by Ruth Nirongo. Ongo's Sports Club were the representatives of Namibia last year. And this year it's another club from Windhoek that have paid their way through to this point. And the Beauties have done ever so well to defeat all of their local rivals and to be introduced to new continental rivals. It is a moment of history for them if they can hold on. Their first victory in the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers beckon. Their first victory in this competition is 13 minutes or so away. And it's could be a huge psychological boost before they encounter Mamelodi Sundowns on Tuesday. A team that have won this competition twice before, losing finalists once, champions of the CAF Women's Champions League, and that is a challenge that this Beauties team will very much be looking forward to, especially after this performance today. And this might be the first time that we are seeing the Beauties from Namibia in action at this prestigious event. But history indicates that no Namibian outfit has ever been able to escape the group stage of this competition. A club by the name of Tura Magic Ladies were miles off other teams in 2021, while Ongo's Sports Club were a lot closer last year to the knockouts. But they too were drawn in the group of death, just like Beauties have been this year. Matthias rolls it out to Kate Javi. Williams holds firm in the middle of the park. The introduction of Williams in this match, that lady wearing the number 9, has given an extra bit of bite to the Beauties. A bite they didn't have against Zambia's Zesco Ndola. And she battles hard. She's battled there again, and she's done so successfully. Williams to Natalie Hikwam. Alwendu lifts her head, she loops one in there, and it arrives on the top of the net. It had the substitute goalkeeper worried for a brief moment. The Beauties are indeed one of 3 fresh and ambitious debutants at this event. But to escape this group, to create a slice of Namibian football history and to qualify for the semi-finals will take something special from here on out. If they think today was tough, it's going to be even tougher against Mamelodi Sundowns. They made a few mistakes today, and if those mistakes surface against Banyana Bastille, they may be put to the sword. But that is then, and this is now, and they are very much in control here. And only once this match ends and the 3 o'clock kickoff between Sundowns and Zesco Ndola ends, only then will we get a full picture of this group and determine what each team has to do in the final group match on Tuesday. But if Ntopwa do indeed go down, their fate will be sealed. Pikani. But despite this uninspired performance we've witnessed from Ntopwa, not only today but against Mamelodi Sundowns as well, there have been a few standout performers for them in red. One of them being Jesse Osife, Nkanda Wawire, Mulimbika. Lovely nutmeg. Natalie Kwam, double goal scorer today and a wonderful, skillful footballer. Bengo, good ball through. Foul in the box, committed by the substitute, Helena Amwandangi. This is also the very first match, the icebreaker match between these two. In fact, over the course of this competition, over the last 4 years or so, clubs from Malawi and Namibia have never faced off. Until today, that is. Time is running out for Ntopwa. Something needs to give. Someone needs to put up their hand. Shabal Bengo gets past one. Wants to go a little bit further. Jesse Osife. Pikani. She goes for it. They need a whole lot more of that for the rest of the match. And there's not a lot left in it. Did open up. The angle was there for Pikani. And after doing quite a bit of defending in this match, she took it upon herself to try her luck, and there was a deflection on the strike. Corner that has been taken and guided out by Williams, and now it's back to Banda, who found Bengo at the front post but didn't give her a lot to work with. Just not showing the same level of desire in this match in Ntopwa compared to Beauties. But they are starting to show some now. But it might be too late for Ntopwa, who did not play and win a traditional league campaign. They first conquered their local region, and then all of the teams from the various regions in Malawi battled it out for the ultimate prize. So not your orthodox league, but they've undertaken some journey to get here, and it seems like it's going to end just 2 matches into the competition. She scored 1 free kick already. Difficult to try and score this one. She clips it up there ever so well. What a delivery, what a header, what a statement by Beauties. Amukoto scores for the 3rd time. And Ntopwa hit for 3 again. Welcome to the competition. Welcome to the Southern Region's best. Beautiful delivery. A simple textbook header that didn't require a lot of contact. She just needed to glance at goalwards, and so she did. What a day it is shaping up to be for both Amukoto and Beauties. Statement result, and now they are level on points with both Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola Ladies. They are level on goals scored and goal difference too. As for Ntopwa, that header has, so to say, sealed their fate. Again, it's another hit and hope. Another goal would actually take Beauties to the top of the log before the current top two teams engage one another later on. And they do have facets to their game, a few individuals like Williams, like Natalie Hikwam and Alwendu that may pose a few challenges to Mamelodi Sundowns on Tuesday afternoon. But whatever happens throughout the week, the Beauties have had a remarkable campaign to reach this point. They topped the FNB Women's Super League in Namibia, and they did so without suffering a single defeat. So they truly are the undisputed, undefeated Namibian champions that might concede now. Once again, one more offside against Ntopwa. Jesse Osife, a creative individual, a lady with a pass and an eye for a goal. But too much pressure, too much reliance is put on her shoulders to carry the attacking hopes of Ntopwa. And the additional 3 minutes have been piled on at the end of the 90. What a second half show it's been from the Namibians. 0-0 after the first half. 3-0, possibly, at the end of the match. And last year, the South African contingent ruled supreme. But the representatives of Malawi a year ago, Ascent Soccer Academy, finished last in a group of 4 teams, and it seems like Ntopwa will be suffering the same fate. Ugulu is a late change, but a change nonetheless. Marvelous display by Alwendu in this contest. January. So we've got Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco and Dola ladies to look forward to at 3 o'clock. But in the afternoon, tomorrow, there is another clash to whet the appetite. Potential decider in Group C between Costa do Sol and Olympique de Moroni. If Costa do Sol win that match, they will progress into the semi-finals. The other match tomorrow will pit Young Buffaloes from Eswatini, a team accustomed to this competition, against Kick for Life Women Football Club from Lesotho. Another debutant in this competition, just like Beauties. Irreversible situation now for Ntopwa, but can they nick a consolation? And the referee decides she's seen enough. What a second half display from the ladies dressed in all white. Ruthless as can be. 2 goals from the set piece. And another well-worked goal. Hard luck for Isaac Jomo Osman. Not his day again. And Ntopwa defeated 3-0 again, just like they were on Friday. And after being beaten 3-0 on Friday, Beauties have reversed that scoreline, and they've gone on to claim their first 3 points of the competition. their first victory of the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers. They have now put themselves on the map of Southern African women's football. And that is the full-time scoreline. Ntopwa 0, Beauties with 3 beautiful unanswered goals. Only the one shot on target for Ntopwa, and that is something that needs to change before their final group match against Zesco. And in 48 hours time, they will play their final group match, and she really does deserve the Player of the Match award. Their star midfielder, Natalie Hikuam. Now, full-time statistics: possession dominated by Beauties, goal attempts dominated by Beauties, shots on target more so for the Beauties. It's their afternoon, it was their time to shine, and boy did they do so. What a statement. And now it's up to Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola. That should be another cracker. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock for that one. Only just the 3 cards in this game as well. There were a lot of challenges, so much physicality on display, and Ntopwa as well. Caught offside on a multitude of occasions, and it's going to be interesting to see or to hear what the coaches have to say.
Who's going to do it? Okay. And now we are joined by Ntopwa FC coach Isaac Osman. Hadla, coach, your thoughts, please.
Yeah, the game was good. First half we controlled the game, but we failed to control. I think to score goals. I think we have a problem on our front. We make a plan that we're gonna attack. When you see, when we was about 20 minutes to 15 minutes in the first half, our opponent were looking very tired. So instead of us showing that these guys are tired, we need to work hard. We didn't use the opportunity that we had. So it's a bad day for us.
Coach, you're talking about the bad day, but your last game is against the Zesco Ndola girls. How are you going to build up going to that game?
Yeah, we're gonna come and pray. I know sometimes, in game of football, it's not all the time that you pray the way you want. Sometimes games can come and disappoint you. What you don't need is to give up. We don't need to give up. We know we was in the tournament. As you see, out of both teams that we play with, you can see our team had a lot of young talented young girls who have the future of football. So we'll not give up. We'll come in another game with the heart. We need at least to win one game, or making a draw will be better for us instead of us going home without winning.
Thank you so much, coach.
Thank you.
That was Coach Isaac Osman. Congratulations, coach. We are joined by Beauties FC coach Kati Nimbadi. Congratulations, coach.
Thank you very much.
The overall of the game, please, coach.
From the beginning, from the word go, we were very much determined to win the game. The girls showed confidence, they showed character. And our aim from the beginning was actually to gain 3 points, and exactly what we did. We have to make sure that we stay in the competition. We still have to make sure that we make the group still very interesting. And we really needed the win. From the beginning, our aim was actually to dominate the game and play our football. And it's exactly what we did. They were a little bit nervous at the beginning because they were actually just kicking the ball away. But then after that, we told them to play their football because we have the skills, we have the talent, and we know that we can do it. Eventually, we emerged victorious.
Coach, you're talking about moving the ball forward and some nervousness in the first half. Moving the ball quickly through the middle, allow them to control the ball, long stretches of the game, and also getting many chances. But could it convert them into scoring many goals, maybe?
I thought, more especially at the beginning of the game, we had a couple of chances that we needed to put away, and we totally failed. But then. After halftime, after speaking to them, I told them to have confidence on the ball, gather their courage together, and then face the opponent, play the ball with confidence so that we can face them, and have more agency in our play.
Wow, Coach, your last game is against the two-time champions of this qualifier, Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies FC.
They are the current champions. We respect their history. We respect, it's actually a very big team, but we actually don't fear them. We came to compete and actually not to participate. We are going to play our football. We are going to face them with confidence. Despite the fact that they are at home, we're definitely gonna take a game to them.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you very much.
North like I. No.
Yeah, boo.
Yeah.
Coach, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. A bit of a break for you yesterday after your opening win. You're taking on a Zescondola outfit who also won their opening match. How are you approaching this one?
Yeah, we know it's not going to be an easy game, you know. I said it last time, you know, playing against team from Zambia, they always pose a threat. And we're able to profile them, you know.